The lower level was now filled with all those who had been upstairs. A last shot was fired, and silence reigned. Slowly, almost as one, the members of Black Party began lifting their heads and looking about. But none moved, as if to do so would violate the certainty the silence inspired. And through the silence, Gina heard her own certainty calling to her. Gina! Gina! It was her man. He was covered with blood, but he was alive, and that was all that mattered. Quadir! Gina popped up from behind the counter. Baby, come on, we gotta get out of here. I'm so glad you're okay, baby. I was worried. I was scared. Qua, look at you. You didn't get shot, did you? Qua seen that she was shaking as if a seizure was imminent. Gina, calm down. He suddenly realized something was wrong with the picture, as though anything couldn't be wronger. What are you doing here, Brianna? I don't know, but this is not where I'm trying to be, she said with a personable attitude. Qua, what happened? Gina was still rooted to the spot as Pam and Lita ran over to them. Lita's expression changed rapidly from hope to loss, back to hope again. Q, where's Rick? Quadir stopped, turned around to her, and took Lita by the shoulders. Look, Lita, Rick got hit. He's upstairs. Lita, I can't stay. You gotta help Rick, baby. You gotta stay with him. Don't tell the police. Shit. Black got hit too. What? Said Pam as she pushed her way to get upstairs. Oh my God, Qua, what is going on? Gina, baby, I don't know. Is it safe to go outside? Baby, I don't know. Where's the Benz? Asked Qua. On Market Street, 2 blocks down, right on the corner of 58th. This is what I want you to do. Wait for me upstairs. Wait for me, he said as he reached the top of the stairs. She handed him the keys. Gina, stay inside. I will. Qua, please be careful, baby. Pam and Lita were frantically searching for Black and Rick's body, lying under tables or slumped in booths. Gina, surveying the carnage, couldn't believe what her eyes told her. There were 5 to 10 people lying dead in pools of blood. Others were hit and injured. Gina, unable to move, looked from one face to another, hoping to see Black or Rick. Pam stopped dead, seeing the suit, knowing the shoes, recognizing the jury, as her mom was telling her she found the one she searched for. Her breath frozen in her throat. Finally, she screamed, Oh my God, no, baby, please, no, not Black. Brianna was nauseous as Pam stood there, looking at flesh parts covered in blood. But through the blood, the parts of his body that no one ever saw, the organs whose job it was to keep Black walking, talking, smiling, reproducing, thinking, and functioning under the covering of skin that protected them, were now outside his body. The skin, blown apart by the force of the infrared Glock 45, covered the walls. It looked as if the protective covering keeping everything together had been shredded off of him. He was gone. Black was gone. Gina heard another voice call out. Oh my God, Rick, Lita was shouting. Please, where you at, man? Come on, Rick, answer me. Gina saw a chair moving, hope filling her and replacing the horror. Lita, over there, she pointed toward the corner. It was him. It was Rick under a table. Lita, don't move him. Wait for the ambulance. Don't move him. Lita found her way to him. Okay, Rick, baby, can you hear me? She gently covered his hand with hers. Pam was in shock, unaware of anything going on around her. People were trying to get out of there, giving thanks to God it wasn't them on the floor. As they glanced at the bodies and the blood, no one stopped to acknowledge the others who were looking for loved ones, friends, and grieving over what they found. Here's Qua, Brianna said, hanging out the doorway. Gina looked at her friend. Lita, I gotta go. But Lita didn't respond. She took a deep breath, ordering herself to function. Okay, Gina. Can you help Pam? Said Gina. Pam? Pam who? My man might die, Gina. Shit, can she help me? 'Cause Black is gone and I don't want to lose mine. Please don't leave me, Tariq. She held his hand and started crying. Where the fuck are the paramedics? She hollered. Gina grabbed her friend's shoulder, trying to calm her down before she left. We'll page you. Brianna and Gina ran over to the Benz where Qua had the doors open, ready to speed them away. Black is dead. At that moment, Quadir went cold. He couldn't think. Dead? Black? He couldn't believe it. He didn't want to believe it. What happened, Qua? I don't know. It happened so fast. They just started shooting at us. Damn, why Black and Rick? Together, Rick and he were standing on the wall directly across the bar from where Black was. The mirrors on both sides of the wall bounced a red light. Rick watched the light as he told Quadre to look at it. The mirror told the ending before it even began. The light ended at Black. As soon as they called out to him, bullets rang. Within seconds, a bullet pierced Rick in the chest, causing him to spin and take a hit in the back before falling down on top of Quadre. Quadre reached on the side of Rick for his gun. Tariq used all his strength to grab his friend's arm. Don't go up, Qua. If both of us die, who gonna make it? He asked as they stared at each other in the eye. You ain't gonna die. Stop fucking with me, baby. Quadre looked at his friend who was half on the floor, half on him. Don't die on me, Rick. Quadre wondered whether or not his friend was gonna make it. He was shot real bad. Checking the rearview mirror, his train of thought was completely interrupted. What is Brianna doing here? Brianna, what do you call yourself doing? You're 16. You're not supposed to be out in no place like this. See what could have happened to you? Gina had never heard Quadre use such force in his voice. I know, she sniffed. I came with this guy, that's all. Who's the guy? Said Qua, ready to wring someone's neck. His name is Charlie. Please don't let it be Quick Pockets, Charlie, he thought to himself. Brianna, you stay out of those kind of places until you're old enough to be in those kind of places. You understand? When you turn 21, then you can go wherever you want. Until then, you keep yourself in the house where it's safe so you can get to be the age of 21. Don't worry, I will. Just then, a car pulled up alongside them on the opposite side of the street and stopped in front of Guy Gitt's house. A few seconds later, Bria hopped out and ran up the door. What are you doing, Bria? Hollered Quadre. Glad it wasn't Quick Pockets Charlie she was with. Shh, she said, turning around to see Quadre, Gina, and Brianna. Gina, I'ma kill him. Let me catch you out here again, Bria. Qua fussed, waiting for them to get in the door. He pulled the Benz off a Guy Gitt block and went to the gas station. He drove on the sidewalk right up to the payphone so that he wouldn't have to get out the car. He dialed Rick's pager, and a few minutes later, Lita returned the call. She was frantic, and Qua soothed her and told her he would be right there. He slid back in the driver's seat and sped away. Lita was waiting for them in the hospital lobby. Come on, she said. They got him back here, she said. Where's Black? Black died, Qua. They was putting him in a body bag when the paramedics took Rick out. Where's Pam? I don't know, but she was just standing there until the paramedics took her. They took Pam? Yeah, they took her too, said Lita. I haven't seen Pam since we left the club. They let me ride in the truck with Rick while they brought him here. Qua, they was sticking him with all kinds of shit. Lita said as she started crying. Quadre held her as Gina looked on, feeling horrible because they could do nothing. Lita, come on, Gina said, put her arms around her friend. It's gonna be okay. He's gonna be fine. He's strong and big. He'll pull through this. I know, Gina, but he was bleeding so bad, you know? What if he don't? You can't think like that. You gotta be strong, baby. You gotta be strong for him. You call his mother, asked Quadre. No, not yet. Well, somebody has to call his family, said Qua. You can call them, said Lita, knowing once they got there, they would take over. Qua left to find a phone and call Rick's mom. Within 45 minutes, his entire family had arrived. Gina curled up on the couch and fell asleep. Quadre consoled Rick's mom while she spoke to the Lord and told the hospital staff at the same time about her precious baby, how good he was, how the Lord couldn't take him, begging the doctors to save her baby. 7 hours later, doctors walked into the waiting room. Mrs. Smith? Tariq's mom was up like a shot. Yes, doctor? He's going to be fine. We removed 2 bullets and we moved him into the ICU. He lost a lot of blood, but he's stable. So he's okay, said Miss Smith. Yeah, in several weeks he'll be good as new. I see no sign of any complication with surgery. The bullets were easy to remove and there was no damage to any of his organs. He should be just fine. We'll be keeping a close eye for him for the next couple of days, but I'm sure he'll be fine. When can I see him, Doc? Said Lita. Well, I think we should let his mother see him and then we should let him rest. He's heavily sedated, but tomorrow you can see him. Okay, Lita said, upset she couldn't see her man. Oh, thank you God for saving my baby, said Rick's mother as she grabs the doctor's arm. You're welcome, he said. Lita, come on, we're going to take you home. Quadir said nothing as he drove, just thinking about him and Rick laying on the floor in the club together. He was so grateful he was still alive, but thoughts of Black cut deep. He grew up with the man. It seemed like everybody he came up with was dying or in jail. He pulled up alongside Alita's Cadillac. Thanks, she said. We'll follow you home, said Qua. After leaving Lita's mother's house, Quadir and Gina drove home. The ride seemed longer than before. Quadir's mind was racing over the minutes and seconds before the gunfire began. People who had looked at him real weird, or the guy who bumped him, he was the guy shooting too. The whole night was a setup, the entire night. The guy standing on the wall with gaiters on, no women around, not partying or getting down. He saw all of their faces when the infrared light went on. Gina knew the shit was out of control. She knew her man was not safe, and neither was she. Both were touchable, both were accessible, and both could have anything waiting for them when they got home. She looked at Qua. Her man was in the zone. Her presence did not surround him as it usually did, so she just let him sit. Sometimes it's just better to let a person be. No conversation, no radio. As they pulled into the driveway of their lovely home, he finally asked, Gina, what's it all for? I don't know. I just don't ever want to lose you. Nothing is worth losing you. You give all this up? To be with you, please, in the wink of an eye.